So hope all is well. We got some big movers pre-market. Kodak is up 60% pre-market. We got GoGo up 20% and JNCE up 85%. The latter being not the hugest volume mover. So we're going to jump into this pretty quickly. Since I'm starting a few minutes late, my apologies on that. I think today's gonna be a good day. We closed our, we talked about this on Friday, I think. Your long work, which was Slack at 30.20, and we took profits in the overnight session aftermarket because it was just bopping aftermarket. So very good trade on that one there. And it's still moving. But yeah, let's take a look at what we got off right off the bat. So we got Kodak. This is up from 6 to 10. So right now, pre-market highs, you know, it's about 60% roughly. Good impulsive. This is aftermarket, and then this is pre-market. So very good impulsive corrective structure here. What's the volume on this one here? The volume is 17 million. Normal volume, average volume is 19 million. So before even pre-market, we've hit pretty much average volumes. This is very, very bullish. We do have this nice base and corrective structure here. Yeah, so something popped aftermarket and then early market. It's just been strong volume. 1026 is definitely resistance right now. And yeah, where are we gonna? I could see 13 or 12 or something like that running into resistance here. I might trade this pre-market. I haven't decided yet. We don't have a whole lot of time till market. We have 18 minutes, so I'll probably be early on this one here. Derek, first time here. Welcome. Good to see you. So I'm going to watch a pullback to 889, and I have an alarm here. Let me just put it just above. And then if that doesn't hold, then I'm going to watch pullback to 8, which is the weekly VWAP. And then the last being the bottom of this corrective structure right here, here, and here. So it'll be about 749. If it blows through that, then I think you're just going to have a full reset, return back to where it was before you see any decent buyers. So Kodak's definitely a hot one right now for sure. Tesla been a hot stock for quite a while, and it had its 5-for-1 split the other day. So, you know, in some sense, it was a very, I mean, it's a pretty savvy move from its CIO because, or CFO, whoever decided that, because with Tesla shares prior to that being, you know, 2,200, it's just so expensive for retail traders. And retail traders, the funny thing about Tesla is it's gone gangbusters. Its average volume is, you know, 90 million, which is not totally insane for a stock that's been insane, you know. And so now that they've done the 5-for-1 split, it's now in a price range that's much easier for their retail trader brethren to take advantage of it. So it is pulling back pretty good. I mean, has a pretty nasty triple top there at 537. So you kind of have to set an alert there for, hey, if it breaks above this, then, you know, if it does it in good fashion, you got to be long. But in the meantime, it is selling off, and it's already below yesterday's close. So when I look at areas of pullback, this was a textbook pullback yesterday. This was just so textbook. So touch to VWAP, touch to pre-market highs. I don't know how much more. And yesterday at that time, I believe that was also the weekly VWAP. It was about as textbook a signal. Yeah, it was. That was that. This little pullback right here. About as textbook a signal as you could get. So I'm going to keep an eye on weekly VWAP here and at 482. This is a pretty aggressive sell-off, and 471, where this prior highs over here is. If it blows through that, then I think it's going to find a base around 443 before we get to anything or like a real defense of some support, because this is the launch higher. So with this being a huge launch, I mean, from 440 to 530, so $100 move, that is, you know, 25% move in one session, including overnight. That's insane. You're going to have a good basis. Some people are going to defend that. So that's what I'm watching right now on Tesla. But Tesla's just been such a mover lately. It's hard not to pay attention to it. NTNX, I'm long this from yesterday. We longed it somewhere around here. I forget. We're long. And so it's broken out of this corrective structure. So you can see impulsive corrective structure, finds the base of the corrective structure, longs, breaks above it, and now it's holding above that. So I got a line of defense and my stop loss is just below this. And if it breaks below that, then that's fine. I may consider re-getting long there or at a base around 25.93. But below that, then I think I would probably just wait for something a little bit deeper before I get long. So work, this is the one that we took profit on. We were long. We mentioned this on Friday, and I think we longed it Thursday or Friday last week at 33.20. So we caught 30.20. So we caught this pullback right here. So resistance here, pullback, caught the second bounce, and bam. So took profit overnight session. Very nice trade. It does have potentially a little bit more, but it's working really hard. So if I did do a day trade on this, I'd want it to be a very small stop, because if I lose on that day trade, I don't want to eat into too much of the profits from that trade. So I am still bullish on work short term. They do have a conference call coming up on the 8th. So you got to be aware of that. But it is kind of getting into resistance here. So you have spike here, spike here, spike here, spike here, spike here, and all-time high here. So I wanted to be taking profit ahead of, a lot of these spikes, basically. I feel like one of these is going to catch it and push it back down. And then when it does, I'll look to get long again back at that base at 30. So I think with this corrective structure, you can kind of see it's a little messy. But you can see with this corrective structure, it's breaking out of it. I think it'll probably, it's now going to find a base more of like this. So I think this is kind of its new base with this as a pullback level. So I think it's going to play around in here. Maybe it'll play around in here. And if it does, then you just buy on pullbacks and trade to the top side. That's kind of what I'm seeing on that. What was the other one? Go. Wake me up before you go. And JNCE is no volume on that one. It was just 1 minute spike and then pop. What is going on with that? Jounce Therapeutics, what a name. Shares resume trading at 9 a.m. So it's halted. I don't see any news on this. How to trade the first preclinical. That was on 22nd. Yeah, what's going on with Jounce? There's no news. There's no nothing. Go shares transactors and announced interest. Intelstat is acquiring the commercial aviation business of GoGo for $400 million. GoGo, isn't that the that's the internet? That's the internet company you use when you fly in planes, if I'm correctly. So somebody's looking to acquire that for $400 million. That's a decent payday. So Intelsat creditors, okay purchase of GoGo's commercial aviation business, bankruptcy court approval expected August 31st. Interesting. Okay. Wow, did they go bankrupt? That's interesting. And so, all right. So those are the big volume movers for today. I did add on to my DKNG position. I bought on this bounce on 35. The bounce does look corrective, so I think it's going to probably retest this. And if it breaks 35, then we're going to see a bigger, if it breaks this kind of 34.42, 35 dip here, then I won't add any more to my position until I get to maybe 32.53, probably more of maybe 31.73 or 30.99. And then I'll add one more at 27.74, which would mean that if we go all the way down there, then you got a super large corrective structure that you're playing inside. And so that's a wide range, and you have to trade both sides of that. So that's kind of what I'm looking on DKNG. Silver's been advancing pretty nicely. We're still holding our silver longs. Precious metals as a whole have just been gangbusters. So look at silver. It has this very impressive run. This is classic corrective structure at the top. That's what that is. So, and it's inside of this corrective structure. Let's go to the 1 hour. It's just building. You had one dip, done a support, higher low, and it's building. It's made higher highs from this high. So you're seeing pressure build and I'm suspecting the more likely scenario is breakout versus breakdown. If it does break down, then I'll just wait to add back on to my current longs. So I'd add at 23, but I'm expecting a breakout in silver. And you're just seeing this across the precious metal space, that all the precious metals are kind of forming the same thing. And so I'm not really seeing anything that's suggesting this GDX, we're along GDX, this is another one, same structure. The only difference is that silver just kind of made one big run. GDX made a corrective structure above the prior yearly highs, used it as a launching pad, breakout, pull back along, and now we have a corrective structure higher up. There's a little bit more weakness in comparison to silver, but it's still very, very strong. So it's much more of a classic corrective structure than building for a breakout pressure. But we never made it to the prior lows. We did not make it to 39. You got 39.66, you got 40.25. So I'm suspecting it's probably going to challenge this again. You'll probably see a little bit of pullback, but I'm expecting a breakout of GDX. You can even see this across L is also building. Very nice corrective structure. So this is silver miners. And just a nice corrective structure at the top, and also SILV. So this one's not quite as much, but it's still bullish. I like SIL better between the two. But this is kind of a slightly cheaper one. This is Silvercrest Metals, but SIL is my preferred one between these two. So if it gets down to the bottom here, I'll buy a dip. But the fact that all of the precious metal space is all showing strength at the top, not really showing any weakness, suggests that there's another leg building in precious metals. And so I'm suspecting September is probably going to break out. I don't think it'll range for all September. I think there's just too much volatility. And so I think you're going to see a breakout in precious metals. So it's hard not to be long or want to be long precious metals at this time. Okay, so other than that, I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, JNC, it's starting to get some more volume in it, but it's sold off most of that. So I think, yeah, that's just silly. That's just one candle halted. That's insane. I don't know who, I don't know how you. The big gap up. That must be over. Yeah, okay. So there went, and overnight it didn't do anything. Big gap up and it's already faded a lot of it. So probably a fade if you get an opportunity. Yeah, just a potential fade on that one there. So, Gilead and let's see here, an hour ago. And John's theory sentence exclusive licensing agreement for a novel immunotherapy program. Now we're talking. So this makes a little more sense. Stage can focus on this. Yeah. The titter cells. Gotta fix those titter cells. Chemokine receptors. Okay. Okay, very interesting. So we'll see how well this holds. I'm not totally convinced it will hold. It's already at resistance. This is where it's at right now. Pre-market highs was here. So pre-market highs was above. Okay. And pre-market highs is right at resistance. Very interesting. Okay. So if it gets back up there, I might consider a sell. Yeah. It hasn't been at this price in a couple of years. So I might consider a sell. We'll see what happens. If it does, it might make it. It might try to make a run at 27, 28, and that's fine. If it does that, then I'll consider selling up there. Either way, I think this is. You can trade both sides. You can trade any sort of bullish move, but I think you definitely want to be fading it once you get into those resistance levels. So that's kind of what I'm spotting this morning. We got KODK. We just held VWAP very nicely. Darn, I was hoping for a deeper pullback. Okay, so we got KODK. We got Tesla, TSLA, NTNX, which are holding work, SIL, SLV, JNCE potentially, and that's a pretty good spot list today. So we have about 5, maybe 10 more minutes. So if you have some stocks or charts that you want to take a look at real quick, let's do that now. Otherwise, I will call this a session and get ready for my trading session. All right, let me make sure there's nothing crazy going on. Okay, sweet. So that's all good on that end. So if you want to look at a stock, currency pair, whatever, instrument, time frame, 1 cents description, bullish or bearish. Otherwise, we will just wrap it up and call it a day. So, anything else that I'm watching right now? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have in mind. Air and sea. No. So it's still in a corrective structure. It's kind of failing the breakout structure. So if it's failing the breakout structure, then you have to anticipate a dip towards the bottom of the corrective structure. And then I would consider to get long between 2122 and 2060. Another one, there was a good one. XME. Did you give me my dip? You're not giving me my dip yet. I really want to dip in XME. I missed the last one here. I missed the last two. So the first one was 24. This was 24.10. I had mine at 24.09. Then I bumped it up like 24.15. I missed it by like 8 or 7 cents or something like that. So I'm hoping for a dip to somewhere between 24.25 and 24 flat. I mean, you got almost $1 to the upside. You got very little to the downside. And I think XME is just priming itself for a bigger run up. So yeah. First time here, very excited. Okay, cool. Welcome, Dietrich. APTO break of CS at bottom of 4 hour. APTO. Break of CS at bottom of 4 hour. FTOS Bioscience 2%. Okay, nothing special there. It's August 6th. Yeah, it's kind of building. So you have pretty clear corrective structure there. It's now broken it. Let's go to the 1 hour, see what's happening. You're at the bottom of this whole range here. It does seem like a good sell if you get back up to 844. That might be a really good sell because it's double topped here the last 2 times. So let's take a look. Average volume 600K. Is it on? It's not on the pre-volume list. So there's not much volume pre-market right now. Not a whole lot on pre-market. You only have 4 that are above 1 million. And Work Technologies is still. So I'm not seeing a lot of pre-market interest on this. It would have to generate a fair amount of interest once the market opens, but I think you could play the top of this corrective structure. It's like a pullback to 552. Take profit at the corrective structure for kind of a scalp, and then leave some shares on for potential move back up. This is incredibly choppy. This is an incredibly choppy stock. Like it, for the longest time, it has not moved much. You're talking less. You're talking sub-dollar movements intraday, even pre-market. So it hasn't done any good movement since May. And then in May it went gangbusters for a little bit, pulled back, went second time at the top, and then faded. But ever since then, okay, market's open. Ever since then, you're talking just not even dollar movements, and work is fading. Ooh, my pre-market, me getting out early was a smart move. Yeah, so I'm not totally sold on this being a runner. I like it from a structural standpoint. I understand what you're saying technically, but I'm going to need to see some volume in this. And I'm not seeing the presence of any real players in this for a while. So, talking 3 months. Yeah, you're talking 3 months. You're not talking a whole lot of institutional interest. So, I think there could be a big volume spike once you start getting into these highs here. Yeah, so just be careful on this one. Just look for good volume. There needs to be, if it's average volume of 600K, I would want this thing to have more than 600K volume for me to really start getting excited about it. Logically, it makes sense. Structurally, it makes sense, but I'm just not seeing any participation in this in months. So yeah, UK 100. He's looking at the FTSE 100. All right, so let's. Yeah, that's falling. FTSE 100 is interesting. It's not like the US stocks where they made all-time highs. The FTSE is like a realistic index. It's like actually struggling. Kodak down. So yeah, this is wanting to roll over. It does have some support coming up between 5776 and 5542 or 5500. Let's go to smaller time frame. Wow, I'm getting a lot of alerts going off. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut off soon because movement today. It's a tricky structure because it's the kind of thing that I would not be trading breakouts on this. I'd be trading that channel. Yeah, I'd be trading this channel, and it's a little messy. It's not the cleanest. Yeah, I'd be trading the channel for right now with a bias to the selling the top side more than buying the downside. You do have a pretty interesting support zone between 5796 and 5632. So here to here. And then your next major basis support, fives across the board, and then 5361. This is an RRL. It was resistance at this, as it was corrective structuring at the bottom. And then it became support for the launch up. So I think that could be a real test. This one is okay with these little lows here. It's okay. And this one is okay, but this is the cleanest of all of them. I think that would probably be the first location I would consider long. So, god damn. Alarm's going off. Some serious movement. So, selling, I might be open to selling at 6174. This prior spike, which kind of matches up with this, and this. It's not the cleanest, but it's definitely there. So, yeah, sell at the top of the channel, close out the bottom. This would be my next buy zone. That would be the next potential long location. I think like serious long location that has order flow structure on both sides. So yeah. What's the price of the Dow Jones at the moment? I'm sure you have charts. You can look at it. Dow Jones is 28,343. Okay. ETH USD. Okay, we'll do this as the last one, and then we're gonna wrap it up. No, I don't want that one. All right. I'm kind of bullish on cryptos right now. I'm pretty bullish on them. They all look like they have built a base and now they're trying to launch higher. Especially Ethereum. This has got, it's got a really good base at 381. Let's look at smaller time frame. Do you see resistance 512 maybe? Just this spike high, but then I could easily see Ethereum going to 70. I'm very bullish on crypto right now. I really like crypto right now. I'm seriously thinking about loading up on some crypto. I haven't loaded up on crypto in a while, but I feel pretty good about crypto right now. This is prior resistance. I mean, it looks like it even wants to break out on the 1 hour. Yeah. That's a pretty small corrective structure at the top. I do like buying pullbacks though to the EMA. I like buying pullbacks to the EMA, and I like buying pullbacks to 448 if you can get it. So I'd watch the 20 minutes. Been holding for quite a long ways since August 28th. It's quite a long ways. So yeah, it's pretty bullish. It's just very bullish. You got tight corrective structure at the top, which lines up with this prior. Yeah, even on the 5 minute, everything just looks good on multiple time frames. Yeah, it's hard not to be bullish on this. So yeah, potential breakout here, but I'd like to see a squeeze. Otherwise, potential pullback at 466 on a short-term basis. That's a day trading one. And then the bigger point is back down to this pullback 447 from a structural standpoint. So that's something like on that. Sorry, Montana. I would like to do more, but I got to wrap it up. Market's moving, and there's a lot of trades going off right now. So yeah, I got to wrap it up for right now. You got to come in earlier, Montana. Got to come in earlier. So good session today, guys. Good to have you all here. Some good questions. I'm going to go live with my stock trading members right now. So we're going to jump into the live trade room and start sharing our trades in real time. But for the watch list again for today, we have Kodak, Tesla, prior trades that I was in, NTNX work. Keep an eye on SIL, SLV. And then I think Ethereum is a very good setup right now. So those are some of the hottest ones I think available right now. So good luck trading today. I hope to see you guys in the stock trading course live room. Other than that, I will see you guys. I might do something on Friday before I have my members commentary. So possibly see you for that one there. So good luck trading this week, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.